This is the Liquid Courage Podcast, a in-depth look at every episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. On this episode, we check out the Duck Brothers and Shirley the Medium, featuring Taylor, Tim, and Sheldon. Now here are your hosts. Alright, I'm ready now.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
I don't know. That was
I preferred our intro being about that shit.
The rolling start of Tooth Fairy horror.
Oh, should I start this week? I mean...
Sure,
yeah,
why not?
Can go.
Go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the... Sorry, you gonna say something?
I called you a fucker, that's it.
Oh, well, alright. Welcome to the Liquid Courage Podcast! Yay!
Yay!
I've suddenly realized I've bitten off more than I could chew.
You're a fucking nerd.
Come on, man. You can do it.
I don't know what else to do. This is your look at every Courage of the Cowardly Dog episode while being very intoxicated.
And I'm Sheldon.
He's
And
Sheldon.
that's Tim.
That is Taylor.
And I'm Taylor.
And I'm Tim.
And I'm realizing that Tim should never do an intro ever again.
Not for this show, probably not.
Holy Christ. I was sitting here in pain listening to you.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oof.
I was
In
waiting for
pain.
you to
That's a
take it
little-
away, to be totally
That's a little
honest.
harsh.
No,
He
I
did
gotta.
fine.
He did fine. No, Tim. If I don't let you struggle, you'll never learn.
Oh, you're like my parents. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Give a man a fish. So yes, Tim did a very eloquent intro. We're the Courage the Cowardly Dog podcast that you've only ever needed. You didn't know that you needed us, but here we are. Welcome to another very fun episode. This one is a bit delayed on the old uptake and recording. If you follow our Twitter, you saw unforeseen circumstances. I was hit by a truck. That's why it was late.
I was blaming it on Delta.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to tell anyone.
I was gonna
It's
say,
not my
yeah.
story to tell.
By the way, I'm fine. All 10 of you that care. So we're good. It was a fun time, but that was why we were late. By the way, here's a free endorsement for you. If you want a pickup truck that apparently takes a friggin' hit and keeps on ticking, buy a 2019 Dodge Ram, because
Not endorsed.
our car bounced off that thing like we were a deer.
But
So
his is fine.
He drove
Yeah,
away.
if you want a car that's very safe, 2013 Ford Fusion. There you go. Watch that be a thing now that you go back and look, and like Ford Fusions explode 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
or
it's
some
totally
shit.
because we talked about it, right? Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen.
But anyway,
Serves him right.
so that's why we're delayed. Those of you that care. So welcome to that fun caveat into our lives. We are here. We're back. We're refreshed. We've had
Phew.
a nice fun break, doing things, enjoying companies of people. It's all great.
It is the summer.
It is the summertime, and living is easy. So easy, in fact, that we're able to talk about Duck Brothers without discussing the elephant in the room. That's not true. I'm going to yell at you for a long time about what ducks do to each other.
I was gonna say, is the elephant in the room you?
Yes. But we're here. We watched an episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, as you know, and now we get to talk at you about it for an hour and 15 minutes, depending on how long we last.
And before we do that, Taylor, back off your microphone just a little bit.
How about you go to hell?
Right
All
there, it's perfect.
Already there, friend.
Yeah, we've again, courage might be there. But yes, we're back. So
Duck
little
Brothers.
less. Well, yeah, I would say a little less heavy than the last episode of Courage.
For
The
sure.
Beatles making a comeback.
Yeah, Beatles are here. Last episode we talked a long time about abuse situations and how that cycle continues, which was cool. I'm sure somebody listened all the way through to that part. But now we are back with, I would say, a lighthearted episode, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
That's what I called it.
I think it was a good one.
I enjoyed
and,
the Rock'em Sock'em Robots references all throughout.
Yes, we're gonna get to all of that and probably more. We watched an episode, the two 15-minute-ish episodes, the Duck Brothers and Shirley the Medium, is what we did, and I think I don't have anything else to talk about. You guys got anything before we intro to Duck Brothers?
Yeah, I got so just some house cleaning stuff, as I always do apparently. The last 3 or 4. We do have a YouTube now. You can check out our Twitter to find a specific link. It's all numbers and crap because we don't have 10,000 views yet.
That's the at liquid _ podcast for those of you that want to find us on Twitter.
That's right. So we have a YouTube now, which I will be posting the full episodes as well as clips from every episode that I think are, fun things, just short things, 3 to 5 minute things that you can enjoy. Send to your friends if you really want to. So.
If you hate them, yell at Tim.
Yeah.
See?
Also,
if you love them.
If you like the show, you should leave a review at any place you want. But we're not gonna do review for review or any of that kind of crap. We don't do that.
If you love us, go to Amazon and give us 5 or not Amazon. Go to iTunes and give us 5 stars.
Yes, buy my Courage fan art on Amazon.
By the way, I've written
6
we're
books.
We're not
based off of my fan fiction.
Yeah. No, we don't do any of that stuff.
But real quick.
Sure.
Do you think there is a Courage the Cowardly Dog fan fiction website?
Yes.
Oh God, I hope not. Seeing as we ourselves, in times where we're not talking about Courage, we found many other fan fiction websites.
You understand that at this point, now I have to look, right?
Well, I'm giving you the chance right here, aren't I?
Yeah. I'm not going to do it mid-pod, but after cast.
For sure. And if you find something worthwhile, maybe that'll be uploaded to that YouTube channel as well.
I'll do a dramatic reading.
Yeah.
The courage in us all.
We also have a Facebook page as well. So if that is something that you're into, we have over 100 people following it right now. So feel free to go over to Facebook and look up the Liquid Courage podcast, all one word. Not phrase that. There are spaces, but that's the whole thing. That's what the page is called. So, we're drinking.
You clean house like a bull in a china shop.
Wow, what a reference.
I know.
Wow.
All right.
It's a Chinese proverb for a reason.
Confucius say. All right.
Duck Brothers. Woo!
I highly debated starting this entire talk for Duck Brothers in a bad Beatles accent, but I don't want to put you and listeners
I don't see why we shouldn't.
We really
what do you
should.
mean?
Why don't we really?
Come on, let's go to America. Oh, that
Which
was
one
bad.
are you? Who? Yeah, no. What was that?
I don't know.
But anyway, here we are. So, Duck Brothers is about some brothers that are ducks.
They come from space.
They're space ducks. Space Duck Brothers. And I'm done. Because it will. That's
a
really
great.
good thing about when you know how to do some stupid things with your voice. You know when it's not gonna go, and that's it.
Yeah, for me, I just have to figure out after the fact and apologize profusely.
But Duck Brothers is a very fun episode of Courage. We started talking about it. It's almost like it's not like a remake of the first one, of the very first pilot of Courage.
Nicer.
It's a more polished one. Less
not evil.
Less creepy than the Chicken from Outer Space. Same concept though, Poultry from Outer Space, which lends credence to the new conspiracy theory that birds aren't real.
I'm sorry.
Of course they're not real. They're all cameras by the government.
No, birds aren't real.
Yeah.
Is the Institute getting in on us? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Birds aren't real.
Yeah, birds aren't real. We know that for years.
Hashtag birds aren't real. Go and tweet all of your government officials and your congressmen. Hashtag birds aren't real. But Duck Brothers is an episode about brother ducks from outer space. And we enter with
Muriel.
Muriel's
yeah.
sleeping in bed.
Getting abducted.
And the very average thing that happens in Kansas, at least once or twice a month to me, a bright light shining from the sky. You go out, you're like, what is that? And then someone floats up into the sky.
Somewhere around your birthday, probe day,
Yeah,
looms.
usually your 16th birthday, that's the first time. But if they like you, they'll bring it back for a couple more times. You know. No, nobody, fine. Fuck
No,
you guys.
I'm gonna sandbag that.
We don't want to talk about it.
We don't talk about that, Tim.
I'll be
Probe day's
abducted
not
tonight.
very fun.
They'll erase that memory.
But which, by the way, if you have not listened to the Byrds' "Hey Mr. Spaceman," you should go listen to that song. It's great.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Taylor. It's not great. It's terrible.
Oh, it's so good.
We're all
such-
entitled to our bad opinions, but
Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take me along? I won't do anything wrong. It's so
I think
good.
it's okay.
You're so.
Don't do that.
Here, let's do a test. Hey, Sheldon, did you like the Disturbed cover of Sound of Silence?
Oh, what a test.
I'm sorry. The correct answer is not the one that I want to give because I prefer the reaction of, yeah, it was great.
My favorite part of that song
So
is when they
bad.
go, "Wah!"
That's the different song entirely.
It's such a bad cover. Anyway, the Duck brothers abduct Muriel. She goes out a window, and this is an episode where Courage, I think, talks the most in full sentences.
Yeah, it's all very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like not a lot of muddling through the talk. But she gets abducted. He wakes up Eustace, and I'm concerned that Eustace's lack of worry that his wife is gone in the middle of the night.
Well, I mean, we know Eustace by this point. He's
Well, we
not a
do.
great.
Well, I mean, there's
He's
no
not a
money
great
involved.
husband. He's not a good person.
Yeah, there's no money involved. Why would he really,
Yeah.
care? That's his
He's
character.
a bad
arc.
man.
If anything, the life insurance will kick in, and
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if anything, he's happy about this.
So
just gotta
Muriel,
wait 3 days.
yeah, Muriel, you don't actually. That's a myth, by the way. If someone goes missing in your life, report them immediately.
Not for
Yeah,
you.
please God.
You don't have to wait 3 days. But Muriel gets abducted, and she is taken into a ship, and stuff happens on the ground. But it's
not important.
normal Courage house stuff.
It's like, Courage. What? Muriel's taken. Don't believe you. Moving
real
on.
bad. So, we go to the ship, and the shot enters on Muriel laying on an examination table, and terrible needles and things being kind of shown above her.
You know the
And
one.
you know what it looks like. And then the voice of some nice English boys just kick into our ears.
Are we sure they're English? Actually, yeah, we are sure they are English.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
to be
Tim.
Well, if it's a Beatles reference, the answer is it's a bad Beatles accent, which is a bad Liverpoolian accent,
Yeah. Which is,
which
Better.
is in England.
yeah. Hey, what's better
Um,
than a worse accent? It's a bad accent.
What?
No, that didn't make
Sure.
sense. Sure. I'll just keep drinking
gotcha.
here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Nurse that beer.
Yeah, that's
Um,
beer, sure.
Nurse that vodka. Whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it is.
that's yeah. There you go.
Mhm.
No, but I think that
Yeah.
to kind of reference that, I think the worse of the accent, the better it is for like cartoons and things like that. When you're making fun of people,
I get that.
All right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
and that's what I meant.
I'll
by
give you that.
I get that. So this goes on, and we then kind of swing the camera around. We see a golden egg roll into frame, and then we cut to two ducks. What'd you say?
Brother?
Purple? Yeah, they were
And a
brothers.
brother.
Yeah, they're brothers.
A
There's
brother,
a
a
purple
brother
and
and a
green.
brother. Purple and green. Now, folks that are watching this episode or have watched this episode, you may have noticed something. The duck that complains about the other duck laying eggs is the green duck. The green duck asks, "Why do you keep doing that? I told you we're boys. Boys don't lay eggs." Which is true.
Yep. Boy ducks do not lay eggs.
Because if they did, I'd have many questions.
There'd be more ducks to worry about in the world.
And that's a problem. But the purple one's the one that's doing it. Remember that fact.
Yes.
So,
Lockdown.
remember it, folks. Write it down. I know you're listening at home. Take a pencil, lick the end of it for some reason. Write down that it's the green duck complaining about the purple duck laying eggs.
That's right. Get that graphite right in your mouth.
Why do people do that?
It's to sharpen it up.
Bullshit. No, it's not.
I've never.
Yeah, it is.
Your tongue doesn't sharpen. What are you, a cat?
What if I
It's
was?
to find the edge. That's what it's for.
Of a pencil?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I think it's to wet it so that way it doesn't make as much sound when it hits the paper. It doesn't make
What-
that scraping sound.
What are you
Okay, I
talking
think you're
about?
full of shit.
No, like, so if you take a pencil to paper, sometimes you can hear the like scraping sound if it's a really dry piece of paper.
No.
No?
No.
No.
Am I the only
Nobody
one
has
here?
this complaint.
That's the only thing I could think of for that. I've never like licked the end of a pencil myself. I don't fucking know. That's the only thing I could think
Alright.
of for that.
Let me rephrase.
Sheldon.
That's why I licked the end of the pencil. All right.
Okay.
He licks it to feel the edge.
Oh yeah.
You can go near it. Anyway,
Near the edge.
I'm sure you
yeah,
get all that graphite in your mouth.
just right
get
in
all
there.
of it.
At least
Not
it's not
bad.
lead anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Graphite's edible. Don't eat it.
Sheldon,
What I mean, you should. Yeah.
Sheldon, many things are edible. It doesn't mean you should eat them.
Yeah, man.
Jeez. But
Don't
so-
you redirect me.
Oh, I'm just keeping us on point.
Don't you do this. No.
The guy that's been
Uh,
drinking the most is going to keep us on point.
That would
But
be you, Tim.
Yeah, you know it.
but we go back to the Duck Brothers, and they're doing alien stuff. And yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, not much alien stuff. After they kind of look at her, they pull a lever, and the
Mhm.
helmet comes down, and it plugs right on with
Mhm.
a screw.
Is it screwed?
It is.
Well, they
screwed,
kinda
I
turn
think.
it.
Yeah.
Did I not watch that part? I
Well,
must
yeah,
not have.
it's screwed in as it goes on her head, then the
I mean-
whole
And then they
helmet
turn it.
turns. Yeah.
They turn it. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know.
So it's not
Alright,
screwed in
so
as
we're
in a
not-
screw being drilled into her brain.
Sheldon's trying to make Courage way like extra dark. There's a screw in her brain.
Oh, come on, it's not that hard.
But this happens, and then they return her, and then Courage and Eustace go back to bed, and Muriel's in bed, and Courage is like, and then,
But
she's-
she went to space.
yes, and Eustace is like stupid dog, obviously kicks Courage.
With the
Courage
best-
walks.
By the way, Eustace is a black belt, right?
By the way, that leg came out of his chest.
Kick the hell out.
Like, I didn't know that he was packing another one that's just like spring loaded for
Yeah,
dog
You have
kicking.
to have something.
I mean, someone just got abducted by aliens, so I guess at this point, suspension's gone. Right?
Yeah. And then Courage knocks on the helmet, and Muriel, it goes beep, 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 and Muriel stands up out of bed and walks out of bed. And it was at that point,
Commencing Protocol 66.
yes, she's going to a kindergarten.
Oof.
But
Wow. It's okay.
we
They're
had-
gonna videotape all of it. It'll be fine.
we had the thought of, why would they return her just to make her leave? And that's a really good question, and I can't answer it, and I don't think you two can either.
So the only thing I could think of is that they don't want to cause suspicion at the house.
They invade a
just be like,
military base.
He's
it was-
gone.
And so then she runs to the car, or to the truck,
The most
and
anamorphic looking truck.
I
Ever.
looked back. That truck did not look like that.
No, it did not.
In former episodes. So
Come on, it was in the Indy 500.
oh, so
It won third place.
dear listener, if you have never watched the Brave Little... See, that's the thing, though. That's what's wrong with society. Some of you have not watched a Brave Little Toaster, and it shows.
It's me. Yeah.
It shows that you have not watched a Brave Little Toaster, because if you have watched a Brave Little Toaster, your sense of empathy would be through the friggin' roof.
If you're willing to throw your toaster away just because it didn't brown both sides of the toast, you're a fucking monster and
Hey.
you deserve to be hung.
That's not why he gets rid of it. He doesn't. But okay, here's an aside. The Brave Little Toaster is a story about a boy who is moving, and he leaves a bunch of shit behind, and the appliances go. It's Homeward Bound with appliances.
Right.
Homeward Bound is a show about dogs and cats going to find their masters. This is a show about a toaster, a blanket, a lamp, a radio,
Vacuum.
and a vacuum cleaner going to find their master. No, it doesn't make sense. Watch it. Go watch it.
Now's a good time to say that I have never seen The Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, you're a
punch you in the
bad
face.
person. You're
oh
a
yeah,
bad
that
person.
makes me a Thank God.
Yeah, that's why your sense of empathy is all out of whack, Tim.
You're probably the asshole that watched The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one either.
Did
Don't
you
worry.
not watch A Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars?
I haven't
No,
seen
I
any of
watched
them.
Oh yeah, it's also not terrible. It's not
But
good.
you watch
it's
it
not
first. That's what
Yeah.
I meant.
Does it count if
Yeah,
I'm
no,
poor
don't do
as a
that.
child?
bad. No.
No. Well, never mind.
No, because video rental was a thing. Anyway.
You're right. We kept renting Sergeant Wilco and goddamn Stripes. My parents are crazy.
So, first off, Bilko.
Yeah, it is. Damn it, you're right.
Yeah.
Steve Martin is a goddamn legend.
Yeah. But go watch that, folks. But hey, listen to this first, and then rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Oh,
But
fuck it. Take a shot
it's-
every time we plug our own shit.
it's a great show. Maybe one day we'll do a discussion of the Brave Little Toaster, because Tim's never watched it. Well, maybe
Never
we'll do
seen
a viewing of that. But anyway,
I smell a Christmas special coming up right here.
I thought it was Balto.
Oh,
But
I would down.
Don't.
I'd be down for a Balto.
I won't be able to
but
control myself for that one.
I know.
We can't.
Sheldon loves Balto.
Yeah, that's why he really loves it. I've
In
seen the
this,
pictures.
Not enough.
in this, the Mira goes out to the truck. The truck looks like one of the trucks from the junkyard scene of Brave Little Toaster, and I am physically scarred because that brought that memory back up. Saddest song in the entire film, I think.
Worthless.
Oh God, it's so good though. But I'll go listen to that at least. But she takes off driving. Courage jumps on the back, does his kind of the first iteration of skitching.
Hell
yeah.
What's she doing?
Yeah, in a cartoon, and is driving, and we don't know where Mario's driving to, and apparently nowhere is also close to a military base. So I'm like,
Where
there's
else would you put Area 51?
Well, that's the thing. Well, not here. It's in New Mexico.
I think they live not far from where I live, which is the scariest part.
Well, and that's it's
Because I live next to a military base, and I'm also almost in the country.
it's such a Mobius area, right?
Yeah.
Like, so here's a history lesson for all of you out there. Kansas, for a long time, was the home of a massive military operation. During the Second World War, we built planes and all kinds of stuff for the U.S. military. During the Cold War, they opened several nuclear missile sites in Kansas, which they did that in other parts of the nation, and you can purchase and live in. And that's real, and people do it, and it sounds amazing.
People
Sounds
make
like
those
fun.
into apocalypse shelters and stuff like that right now. Yeah.
So where the big ICBMs used to be.
Yeah.
So
That's safe.
I don't know. I'm still trying to triangulate where nowhere technically is.
I would vote somewhere in Nevada.
There is
It's
a.
not though. It's in Kansas. They talk
Does
about
it
it
say
being in
it's in
Kansas.
Kansas?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
say
remember.
Kansas.
nowhere Kansas. I think that's
Middle of
what-
nowhere. Yeah, it's like it is Kansas. It is technically Kansas.
It's technically Kansas, and so on Google Maps, if you were to search nowhere, it does bring up some place in New Mexico, but I think someone did that just to profit in on all the Courage the Cowardly Dog
On
nostalgia.
all the Courage the Cowardly
Yeah.
Dog
Or
nostalgia.
they just
I think you're
literally
reaching
named
a
it
little bit.
nowhere.
Nowhere, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, but I do think it's somewhere in Kansas, and I think it's probably in northwestern Kansas, probably close to where you are, Taylor. Closer.
See, I don't know. I think it's more south or southeastern Kansas, closer to Oklahoma and that stuff, because that's more barren.
Okay, I could give you that, yeah. Because I grew up in Wichita, which is
Yeah.
South Kansas, and if you were to go anywhere west, it's like there's nothing
Yeah,
for a good
you
30
drive
miles.
south though. You drive south
Yeah.
though, you're in Oklahoma, and we all know what that's like.
Sadly,
Oh,
yes, I do.
Terrible. It's
How women
terrible.
look like men.
It's nowhere, man. No one can live
Yeah, that's why the natives were really mad when we gave it to them.
there.
But this goes on, and she goes to a military base, and we're going back to the military base, and she drives up to it, and I don't know what. I'm sure it's just a joke, but boy, oh boy, does this not. Was this pre 9/11? This is pre 9/11.
Yes,
wasn't it?
it's January 14, 2000. So yes,
yeah, so you can
pre-9/11.
drive. Yeah, so back then you could drive on any military base almost. So she just drives up to a military base, and the guard just looks at her and goes, "Oh, it's a sweet old lady," and opens the gate and lets her in.
She's fine. What's she gonna do?
The pre 9/11 world was amazing. Those of you that remember it, you remember being able to fly without taking your shoes off.
And also smoking in a flight.
It's just in general. What? That's like the 70s.
No, you could smoke all the way up to the 90s. I
No,
thought. Yeah.
no.
Airplane was made in the 80s.
85.
I
think 88 was when the last time you could smoke on an airplane.
guess the last time you could get in like serious trouble was probably late 80s. Like the first time you
I
get
don't
serious
know.
trouble was in late 80s. Because my dad does remember smoking in a plane in the mid 80s and not having a problem.
Well, yeah, probably. But anyway, I digress. Bunch of under 30-year-olds discussing what life was like in the 1980s.
All I know is airplane. That's all I know.
Everybody was funny. Leslie Nielsen was everywhere.
You could beat the shit out of people in the airport.
You could jive talk to a black guy and it was okay.
I speak jive.
But we cut to this military base. Muriel is still under control. She gets out of the car. Car still looks like an anthropomorphized thing that's going to break out into song, and she goes into the base. Courage is on the back, and about that time, a golden egg rolls by, and you hear the best.
Yeah.
Revealing the truth that the ducks are with them the whole time.
The ducks were with them the whole... They're in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Why did they suddenly hide out under the car?
Maybe there's only so much range. On
Maybe
their
the-
remote.
Maybe they didn't hide out under the car. Maybe they beamed down, but there was no light, so they couldn't have done that.
No, they hung out like a bunch of street
Oh.
Yeah,
boys.
maybe they were in the cab and in the truck bed. That's why they made her go to the truck instead of just running there.
No, I prefer
a
the
long
fact
way.
that they were hanging underneath the truck the whole
Yeah,
time.
they were
Maybe.
sideshow
They're
bombing it.
aliens. Yeah. They were sideshow bombing.
Yeah. With less rakes. But they get there. Courage sees them and confronts them. And we cut back and forth. Muriel's going through the military base. We're like, what's she there for? Because, like, every story that is a UFO involved breaking into a military base, I feel like it's always weapons or codes or something big, right?
We must sneak in so we can begin the invasion
Yeah.
by taking
And-
down where they're the strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead walks into a kitchen with an Italian sounding chef and finds
Another duck.
Another duck.
a
Who is-
duck. Yes.
Who was very concerned.
I thought he died.
Yeah.
Thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead. And But then shit just goes haywire because Muriel falls asleep and we cut to outside and Courage is fighting the ducks.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
when you say fighting,
audience.
do you mean keep away?
When you want to fight a duck, you grab it by the neck and you swing it.
Yes. Also geese, because geese are monster animals and deserve everything that we give them.
Agreed.
Yes, I know the Letterkenny joke of if you mess with a Canada goose, yeah, but you ever ran into a Canada goose? You ever done that?
I have.
they're
yes.
mean.
Yeah,
They're real mean.
Nice.
They're not nice. They're not nice animals. They're not nice. There's a reason you're allowed to shoot them.
Quackers in general are just assholes.
Correct. So, folks at home, before this, you've watched, but if you haven't, a golden egg rolled by. Courage saw it. You heard them say,
Yeah.
"Boy ducks don't lay eggs." Before that,
Yep.
on the spaceship, boy ducks don't lay eggs.
Here's the.
The green duck.
Do you want the actual quote?
Sure, go for it.
Green
Papa.
brother seeing his older brother lay an egg. I told you to stop doing that. Green brother. We're duck brothers. We shouldn't be laying eggs.
So much.
Mhm.
That's it. That's the
And,
quote.
and the purple duck says, "If you don't tell me what to do, green, 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 all the way across the board is saying, hey, don't lay eggs.
Yep.
We're at the military base. Green brother is throwing eggs.
Yep.
Who's
Green
laughing
brother.
now?
Says, who's complaining about these eggs now?" To the purple brother. What?
Yeah, they missed. Yeah, they fucked
Yeah,
up.
they
They
messed
fucked
that
up.
shit up.
I was trying to be PG-13, but no, they just purely fucked up.
Nice try, Tim.
They did. And I, for one, can't deal with this continuity issue,
Taylor's
Miss-
infuriated.
Mr. Dilworth. I need you to
Contact
go
us,
back
please.
and please retroactively change your show.
Do we need a remastered
How-
version of the first season of Courage the Cowardly Dog?
If Game of Thrones can go in and remove a Starbucks cup,
But they
We can
couldn't
go
do it
in.
the first time around.
we can go in and change which duck says what. I'm just saying, you know,
I guess I could.
Qual-
Just a simple color swap. It's not that bad.
quality control. That's all I ask. But in all seriousness, so that happens, and then we have Courage and the Ducks having a fight, and Courage wins.
Yeah,
First off,
it does,
Barely.
yeah.
like beats the hell out of these ducks.
Do you get?
Yeah. Do you give?
As
Do
a
you
dog
give?
does, yeah.
Yeah. Grabbing them by the neck, bouncing their heads off each other. They give Courage the control. He tries to figure out how to use it. Hilarity ensues because Muriel's bouncing off walls and walking on ceilings. It's no big deal.
Right, yeah.
But
Yeah.
then,
As you live in the Matrix, yeah.
yeah, exactly. But then,
We.
what happens, boys?
We-
It's over, right? Episode's over.
Yeah,
Courage wins.
sure, yeah.
No.
Courage gets controller. You'd think the episode would be over,
Yep.
right? No.
Yeah.
The Duck Brothers run back in and go, "We have not yet begun to fight."
And they
And
pull out their weapon
correct.
of mass destruction, which is Eustace.
Yeah.
This is useless, yeah.
Which terrifies Courage.
As it
He
would.
is so scared.
It's his natural enemy.
It's
If we were on
Courage is
Maury and I
natural.
suddenly brought out your abusive Uncle Lenny, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody would freak out a little bit.
Maury!
wrong.
Maury! Maury!
Oh, you are not the father. But some of you have never watched Maury Povich when you're sick, and it also shows.
For the better, might I add.
But so then they bring Eustace out. He brings Muriel out just through a wall, and a fight begins between Muriel and Eustace. And Tim, you described it the best as a.
Rock'em sock'em robots fight.
It is the
Exact-
weirdest. Yeah, it's exact. It's weird.
Confession time.
Yeah.
I've never played Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Oh,
Good.
I'm sorry,
Well,
man.
that's fine.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's two hunks of plastic trying to hit a sweet spot on a chin.
And when they
Wow.
do, the chin goes
So two less
straight
minutes.
up in the air.
Yeah. And here's the thing, Sheldon. Like, you say that now, you're like, I've never played it. I'm almost 100% sure that most people that will stumble upon our podcast have not played Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
If they haven't played that, they played some kind of digital version or something like that. Since
think? I don't
something
know.
making fun of it, probably.
You've
I
seen
would
the
say
references.
So. Yeah.
And this is one of them.
Maybe it's because of all the references that I feel like I.
Yeah, I think there's a ton of them because that
Here's the
game's
thing,
been around since the 80s.
I've played Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Same.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to write home about. You get one good right uppercut, and the dude's dead.
You get the gist of it pretty quick. Not a lot of nuance play in Rock Sock'em Robots.
The scariest thing is when I was a child, and I thought that actually meant you hit that dude's head off with a right uppercut.
Oh, here's the thing. No. The scariest thing is that they made a feature-length film about Rock'em Sock'em Robots in the 2000s.
Oh yeah, that was what was it called? Real Steel? Yeah. That was a great movie.
Don't.
Not good. It's just
You just said it was a great movie.
Yeah, I know. I backtracked real hard.
Are you ready
there.
for the Candyland remake?
It had Wolverine in it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. The new Clue movie is coming out next year of Adam Sandler. It will be fine. It'll be great.
I would prefer Can You Guess Who?
I would watch.
That's basically the same movie.
shit.
It is not.
Hey,
It was
people of the listening world, go watch the original Clue movie with all 3 endings. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can You Guess Who? It's a mystery.
Get out.
Does he look like a bitch?
Samuel L. Jackson's the one playing it. Huh?
You gotta figure out who Marcellus Wallace is. But it's a Rock'em Sock'em Robot battle. And this is when the animation kind of goes into body horror for a little bit.
Yeah, the skinniest necks you'll ever see.
Yeah, they do a couple uppercuts. Both necks go out. There's a Three Stooges reference where Courage comes over to the Duck Brothers and none of this, and does dirty hits, and then they do dirty hits to him, and then he just agrees that yes, no dirty hits.
And then the Three Stooges sue.
Yeah.
Turner's being sued right now. We just don't know about it.
By the way, the story of the Three Stooges is literally the saddest thing in the entire world because they got paid basically nothing and had to continue working until they were well into their old age because they got paid nothing from their work.
Yeah.
They were cultural icons and we all love them if you love comedy, but they got paid jack, and it's so sad when you read about like Larry Fine and everything that happened to him and everyone else. Oh, it's so sad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be sad.
I know. So meanwhile, the Rock'em Sock'em robot fight is going on. And
the last part of it ends up in a tie. They both hit each
It
other.
goes on for a long time.
they knocked each other's block off at the very end. And the Duck Brothers come over to talk to Courage, and Courage to the Duck Brothers, and the Duck Brothers explain that their brother is locked up inside of there, and all they want is their brother back.
By the way, I think this is the most Beatle reference that they have there, right?
Really?
So one of the brothers is Paul, one of the brothers is John. He goes, "Stop telling me what to do."
Okay.
And then they start yelling and crying back and forth. I don't know. I feel like that's what John and Paul went through when the band broke up.
Oh no, it was just called Yoko Ono being terrible.
Maybe.
Yeah, bold stance.
Well,
Yeah, bold stance. You want to know how I know Yoko Ono is terrible? Watch the video where John Lennon sings with Chuck Berry, and she can't stand the spotlight not being on her for 30 friggin' seconds. I have strong feelings.
I was about to say, we're about to have
You have strong feelings about a lot of
We're
things.
going to talk about
I
this
do.
afterwards, aren't we?
But Yoko Ono broke up the Beatles. She's terrible. But
yeah, probably. Yep.
that's not a controversial thing. Most people believe that. In all honesty, creative differences drove the Beatles apart immensely, but Yoko Ono didn't help things. But Courage volunteers then to help the brothers get their brother back.
As a super soldier.
Yes.
and would eat a not a fire alarm, a regular alarm in the base.
Yeah, it probably could be used for fire alarms.
It's definitely an alarm.
It was coded red to be a fire alarm. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
Fire hot.
I mean, at that point, it's very much Courage is controlled by the ducks, I guess. It doesn't really explain if he is or isn't, because like he could have just done it on his own. And
I think he has to be.
You think he has to be?
I
Because
think the helmet gives you superhuman powers.
Because I think you ignore anything that happens to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
and also
so-
you talk in German.
Yeah, Terminator
Dog.
reference. And Courage breaks in, saves the duck, says some stuff about Strudel.
He is. What am I gonna cook now? And
Strudel.
Courage goes, Strudel. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, which
Never was a fan of strudel.
it's a great dessert.
Yeah.
Nah.
It is.
Oh.
But it's okay that you're wrong. But
No. using your own using the joke for earlier, huh?
yeah,
I'd see you're not that creative.
you're welcome. But Courage goes out, gets the duck brother back. What's the name of the third duck brother, Tim? You might have that.
Fuck, I don't know.
I do not have that actually, because it just calls all three of them the Duck Brothers.
See, and that's the thing. Like, it's a Beatles reference, but there's only 3 of them.
Yeah, they're all called Duck Brother 1, 2, and 3.
The fourth one got taken away by Yoko.
For now, at
Ono.
least.
So I'm like, did they leave out Ringo?
Yes.
The
Yes, they
Beatles
did.
left out Ringo, so yeah.
So when we get done with this episode, and right before we're about to rate it, I have a good trivia fact about that.
Ooh,
alright.
That's fun.
Trivia.
All right. Now here's a fun fact. So, and then at the end of the episode, all 3 brothers lay an egg.
Yep, and get beamed up.
They do. All right. Hey, folks. Ducks are horrible. Male ducks in particular.
Yeah.
When you're
I want you to know something. I want you, the listener, to know something. Ducks are terrible rape monsters.
Every duck's a rapist.
Yeah.
Every male duck.
Okay, yeah,
Because-
that's probably good. Yeah, yeah.
Number 1, ducks have and this is a biology lesson, ducks have a barbed penis.
A screw
They-
penis.
Spiraled.
It's a spiral, too,
Yeah.
that they fire like a harpoon. It is spring-loaded.
Oh, God.
When ducks are mating, female ducks have adapted to this problem by having a multi-chambered vaginal canal.
Anti-spiraled vagina.
And it's spiraled, but the design is to keep it so inferior ducks won't mate with that female.
Yep.
But there is no love between duck mating. Now I know these are cartoons. I get that. But you need to know something. Ducks are terrible.
And
Also,
they could be outside your door.
right now, they could be fighting you at this very moment. And you wouldn't even
They could-
know.
Yeah, a male duck could be out there with his corkscrew penis staring at you through a window.
You
I'm just
sweat,
saying.
don't you?
I wish I could do a
I'm
duck
just-
call just as soon as you said that. It'd be like,
Oh my god, I have one, but it's in my chest of other things.
I don't get it. No.
It'll be very loud.
Yeah.
But you as listeners need to know that because everyone's like, ducks are so cute. No, they're terrible.
No, they're horrible. They're horrible.
You'll never look at Donald and Daisy's relationship the same way again.
Oh God.
It's
Yeah.
No, it's bad. It's real bad. Like this knowledge was thrust upon me. It's now thrust upon you.
Oh God, she has Stockholm syndrome. Oh my God.
It's so like duck biology is so not cool.
The entire species is based upon rape and anti-rape culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's weird and it's just odd and I don't like it. They're a thing that is going to survive until millennia because they don't care. You're like, but that Drake and that female duck look so happy. No, they're not.
They're not now.
Drake? Is that what a male duck's called?
I believe so, yes.
I learned something today.
I was about to say I didn't know that.
There you
at all.
go.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
all know
Darkwing
about
Duck-
grape ducks.
Anyways, so
Oh,
do we want to
Darkwing
get on
Duck.
to either some trivia or the rating of this episode?
You know what? What's your trivia? We'll do trivia
the
first,
trivia?
and we'll see
So-
what we want to do.
I want to give a shout out to Pan Pizza of Rebel Taxi. He interviewed Dilworth at one point about Courage the Cowardly Dog. He interviewed him for a good hour. I watched it a long time ago. And it's also now on the fandom wiki for Courage the Cowardly Dog. So anything he said on there is now showing up there. So good. So, contrary to popular belief, the Duck Brothers are not voiced by Ringo Starr.
Well, I knew that.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah, you could probably tell, but I mean, he had to, just put it out there. They're actually voiced by Will Ryan, and he is imitating Ringo Starr for the whole time. So,
Okay, so all three of them are voiced by the same gentleman?
yes, they are. Yes,
Of course. I mean,
Okay.
makes sense.
all of them, and they are yes trying to be the Beatles.
Well, yeah, I assumed that as that much. I think, Will Ryan. That name is interesting to me.
I don't remember where he's from. I can look it up real fast.
He has done a lot of different things. I don't think he's ever had a... I'm looking at his IMDb like right now, just so we're all clear on that.
Right.
He's done a lot of work on different things. He was in numerous. This dude is prolific, and all of the voices I don't know.
He's done a lot, and oh Jesus, there's a lot. He's been in House of Mouse. He's been Hi Puff Amiyumi.
Boy, hey, let's unlock
Okay.
that memory. Remember when they gave a Japanese K-pop or Japanese J-pop rock band a TV show on Cartoon
fast
Network?
I'm glad your guys' memory is not as fond as mine is. He's also been on Family Guy, DuckTales. Let's see, he's been
What was he?
in
DuckTales. Oh.
Jesus Christ, DuckTales. He was PD Sharky. Dangerous Dan,
What
maybe.
the fuck is
It's a lot of bit parts. Gonna be real with
He's
you here.
been done. Yeah, he's done a lot. Yeah.
Bit
DuckTales?
parts for the most part.
Yeah. So stuff like that. He's done a lot of stuff for Disney, done a lot of stuff for Turner. He's done Welcome to Pooh Corner. He was Rabbit and then Terror, apparently.
Welcome to what corner?
Welcome to Pooh Corner, which was an episode
too
of
drunk
Winnie
for
the
that
Pooh.
name.
Sorry. No, sorry. It was a live
name it.
action puppet television series that aired on Disney Channel. So it was live action version of Winnie the Pooh. And he's also been he's been in
done
a
a
lot
lot.
of films. He's been in a lot of radio, a lot of television. He's been in a lot of
Is this-
stuff.
Say the name again. I'm sorry.
Will Ryan is his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been in a lot. He's been in Land Before Time, The Little Mermaid. He was the seahorse in that.
There was a guy I was looking up one time that was just the animal in every cartoon you could imagine.
This is not him because he was also in Looney
It's
Tunes
not him.
Back in Action. So he also, he climaxed and then fell straight down. Don't worry.
He has. He's still getting work. He gets work with his voice. We make a podcast about a dog show.
I'm not saying we're great, but I mean,
Hey, man.
But
Don't hit us too hard.
hey, he's probably in SAG,
Oh, there's no way he's not. Yes.
and we're not. So we're not even in WAG, which I don't think is the proper acronym for Writers Guild of America.
My
Nope.
grandfather was the president of SEMTI, and not even in that. Yeah, take that fact.
You're saying names.
You won't
Okay.
know it, but some one guy in Albuquerque will be like, "Oh my god, I know what that is."
Listen, as long as
And
you
then
get
he's
one
sad
person-
because he lives in Albuquerque.
There you go.
And I can say that I've been to Albuquerque. You have a lovely zoo. However, you need to work on your tram ride because it breaks down and goes off the track at least 3 times a week.
It happened again, says the conductor.
Not again.
Yeah.
Anyways, do we want to rate this episode?
Or what do we want to do? What do we want to do? You want to do
it's
duck
golden
eggs?
Yeah, can we do golden eggs?
Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah, I think that's the golden eggs is probably the wild card. Right?
If we're going out of 5, I'd easily rate it like a 3. I didn't find it amazing, but I didn't find it terrible.
I will give it a 4 out of 5 golden eggs because of the comedic effect that all of it has. Rocket Soccer Robots, the Beatles references, and making fun of all of it. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I really like Duck Brothers. I'm probably gonna give it 3.5. Just because like there was some stuff like it's great. I like it a lot. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, it has its moments for sure.
But there's some little bits that are just like, eh. It's not like it's memorable because of the silly accents
and because of the Beatles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making fun of the Beatles the whole time, pretty much.
Like I said, 3.5 I think is a good rating.
I would say so. Yeah, it's not the best Courage episode, but it's definitely one that if you you watched it, you wouldn't be disappointed.
And it's not scary, and also
It's
just
not
has
scary.
actually, besides the fact that Courage is continuing to control Eustace, that happens at the end.
Yeah.
It has a really wholesome ending because Courage helps them get their brother back, and I like that. It makes me feel nice.
Besides the SCP monsters.
Everyone wins.
Yeah,
he finds several
Yeah.
monsters in there that probably should not. And by the way, those aliens are seen throughout the series several times.
Yes, they
So-
will pop back in. Loses points for not portraying our nation's military in a very good light. So
It portrayed it in an accurate light.
I wouldn't think so.
This is
but
July 4th weekend, so
hashtag July 4th.
yeah.
So there's that. So it was fine. It's a good fun episode. It's just kind of silly, and I like it. I like it a lot. So there's that.
All right,
no one else
so Shirley the Medium though.
Yeah.
It's a little different than the first episodes. Not as comedic, not as anything really.
Well, Shirley herself, I think, is a memorable character. I think I remember Shirley the Medium better than a lot of bit characters in Courage.
Yeah, she's reoccurring for sure. She's more reoccurring. So I know the Duck Brothers, they come back in a later episode for sure, at least 1 or 2 more. But Shirley comes back in a lot of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
She's
more than just like a bit part, I would say.
Yeah. So, dear listener, at home, some of you might be old enough to remember, some of you might not. But before we talk about this episode, you need to understand something. And in the early 2000s and late 90s, there was a fad going around. And that fad was psychics.
Yep.
But not just any psychics. Telephone psychics. The most well-known of them being Miss Cleo, who was an African-American lady who put on a very fake Jamaican accent.
Oh shit! I didn't realize when you said it earlier, but now, yeah
It's not a real accent. And you would call Cleo, and she would read your tarot cards, and if you one of the best things to do is go back and watch those. Google,
they're
YouTube
awesome.
it. It's amazing because you'll get people like, Cleo, I just don't know if my boyfriend is cheating on me or not. I just feel like he is, and I just don't know. And then she'd read your cards. She'd be like, he is definitely cheating on you. You should break up with him. And she's not a psychic. Like, that's not a thing. Like,
there's no way to know when you have tarot cards. It doesn't work like that.
Like, okay, so like, I'm not gonna delve into if psychicism, I don't think that's a word, is real or not.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, over the phone for $9.99, probably not.
I will say this: Adult Swim, from time to time, on their live streams on their website, which is called Williams Streams, which I'm a big fan of. they will bring a psychic in to do stuff like that still. Although they tell her not to do that specifically. Like, they don't tell you to do actions anymore because, like, now, after something like that, like, oh, he's totally cheating on you, they'll be like, maybe something else is going on, and they'll, like, allude to it now.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, they'll just straight up tell you, like, he's a horrible person. Get rid of him.
It would come on like 8 o'clock or
Yeah.
after that on like Fox.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
would be like Cops, King of the Hill, Simpsons, the PJs, Mad TV, Miss Cleo.
There's a lot going on there that's not good. A
I
lot of
am
those things don't exist anymore.
I am like 90% sure that is the accurate lineup.
You're right.
Celebrity
I think you're right.
Deathmatch was in there too.
Oh,
It depends on what time of year you were in.
the second incarnation of Celebrity Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Because the first one's on Viacom. So.
Can we not
Yeah.
talk about the second incarnation of Celebrity Deathmatch?
No, the second was fine. It was the third one on MTV2 that was bad.
The fourth one was even worse.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy adult TV show.
That didn't air on television.
That was on Spike. What are you
Aired
talking
on
about?
Spike. What
No,
the
it
fuck are you
wasn't.
talking
Yeah, it
about?
was. It was
No.
on Spike. I
Yeah,
saw
it
it on
was. There were
Spike.
commercials for it.
It was on Spike, and then afterwards, Stripperella was on, and Stan Lee
you're
would
right.
voice it.
Yeah, except for the fact that was the censored version of the Ren and Stimpy adult party cartoon.
Well, yeah, they had to because all of
Yeah.
it was need to be Stripperella need to be censored. Everything needs to be
Spencer. Everything is in Spencer's Gifts right now.
If you go up there right now, you could probably find Ren and Stimpy at Spencer Gifts.
I don't like that Spencer's Gifts are going out because where else am I going to get a terrible political T-shirt and all of your weird sex toy needs?
Where
Every
am I gonna
fifth
get
quarter
a
in New
dildo for
York.
one of my ex-girlfriends to tell them to go fuck themselves? You know?
How did Spencer's Gifts get spots in malls? Like wholesome, nice malls.
I think their parent company had something to do with that, but I don't remember what
Like,
their parent company.
They
is.
were horrible stores.
Yeah, they're bad.
If you work at a Spencer's Gift right now, quit.
Well, yeah.
That's my stance.
I personally haven't seen a Spencer's Gifts in a long time.
I saw one not too long ago when I was in the
I
mall.
see one every time in Wichita. Every time I go to the mall
It's
there
super-
that I used to be a mall rat at.
It's super weird. I don't know how those things exist.
Lizard.
Yeah.
That's something so much different.
I've never bought a blow-up doll that looks so weird in my goddamn entire life.
That feels like you did.
No, no, it's a joke gift. Joke gift! I should say
No,
right
Tim
now.
bought a blow up doll.
I
Tim
bought a blow-up doll.
No,
And
Tim
gave
got
it to
the
my
blow-up
friend
doll.
and told
He just
him to go
didn't
fuck
return it.
himself.
Was
And
it the one
which-
that looked like a lamb?
No, it's the one that looked like your grandma.
Mm. Hey, dear listener, that's the one that Tim's into. Send it to his house.
For God's sakes, don't.
Twitch/TimTV. Go ahead and go to that channel.
Yeah, we'll never
Go
find it.
ahead.
No
Go
one's
ahead
found it
and
yet.
just spam him with as many granny videos as you can.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. No one's followed me
Hashtag
yet, so
kill.
fuck it. Do it. Anyways, let's go on to this actual episode instead of just, you
I
know.
don't think I want to.
This
think I wanna-
episode's.
I think I want
Really
to rag
weird,
on you
though.
some more.
No, this episode's really weird, though.
Yeah, why don't you take it? You go for it.
So this episode starts with Courage trying to find the yo-yo in the yard, which he has no idea where it is. He's
Okay.
digging up randomly in a very saturized yard.
Yes. This episode seems to be uber saturated.
Very saturated. There's, for some reason, whoever was editing it or had the final say in the video was just like, yeah, bump
Now.
up the saturation.
And no
Now.
K-pop to be found.
Now, to be fair, this could just be the DVD release that we're watching.
Well, I'm watching a different version than you guys, and it was the same way. So.
No, but I think you're still looking
Yeah.
at the commercial release. So it could be the commercial release that we're seeing that's having the problem. Or it could be the original air. Like, I can't find any information that changes that, so I'm assuming this is the original air.
Yeah, I think they just
I
messed
think
up.
it is, yeah.
But I don't know what everything is super saturated. Like
Or-
everything is
Yeah,
all the greens are extra green.
Yeah, all
pinks
the
are extra
colors
pink.
are pulled up.
Maybe
So
maybe they wanted to hit that. It's kind of a ghostly thing.
I think it's just because someone else
Yeah.
was editing it than usual. So
Could be.
I'm a professional video editor in some respects. I'm a video producer.
You are. I mean, you're. I think at this time you can say you make money producing and editing video and audio.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think you can take the professional mark.
Yeah. So my I like to oversaturate videos. That's the way I like to do it. It almost looks like a 90s like TV show.
Pop.
Yeah, like if you're looking at it, like the yellows are way more vibrant. The yellows and the greens are way more vibrant than anything else.
Like a late term Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of how I like to do it. I think they just handed it to a new editor who's like, yeah, this is what I do personally when I color correct things, and that's how he did it.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean like a lot of the backgrounds are different in this episode too.
Yeah, well,
so they could have found a different background artist for everything. Like a lot of stuff in the regular room that they're in, the TV room, which has the Muriel's rocking chair and Eustace's armchair.
Yeah,
living room, if you will.
Yeah,
well, the room in which you live.
I don't know because there's extra rooms in this episode too.
To be fair, what I'm looking at for credit-wise, it does appear that everyone is still the same.
So maybe they just thought about going a different direction.
Let's try
or maybe,
something new.
Maybe Turner or Cartoon Network had a say in this episode, and they're just like, "Hey, please do this a little bit more," or whatever. Yeah. You never know.
Or it could be a choice on their own.
Yeah, it could have been like this episode is meant to be a little bit different than everything else. So that could totally be. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just an odd look at things when it comes down to kind of the contrast between Duck Brothers and this, because there is a very distinct color shift.
Yes,
and everything is just a little bit brighter and
a little bit more saturated. Yeah, for sure.
And Courage is more pink than purple. Because in Duck Brothers, he's in a lot of the shots he's purple. Very purple.
Yeah, he's straight purple.
But there's also shots where he's pretty pink. It's odd. It's a weird shift over.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
currently paused my Courage on a shot where Courage is blinking. Don't do that. Because there's about 17 eyelids there. That was weird.
Yeah, don't do that. So yeah, well, I mean that's early animation in the thousands where they're not.
It happens.
I mean, no one would. When you're doing animation, no one notices kind of the in-between frames. So.
Oh no, it's just an in-between frame that I paused on, but it happens. So yeah, it's a pause. A lot of the colors are brought out, but Courage is digging in the yard, and Tim.
So, oh god, he's digging in the yard. He's trying to find his yo-yo, which has been lost. It's his whole thing. He's digging in the yard. I can't remember. He goes back to the house, right? And he's trying to find his yo-yo. He finds a lockbox instead.
Yes.
In the yard. He pulls it back. Mm-hmm. He runs into the TV room, the living room, I guess what you guys would call it. He's sitting there and doing the most dog thing that he can do, which is not talking and just going...
Yeah, it's a stark contrast from the episode beforehand where he is straight up just having a conversation with numerous characters, and now he is back to full dog.
Yeah, and he's trying to get a hold of Eustace, which right before Courage came in, Muriel was like dusting around or whatever and found a picture of Eustace's brother, which is basically Crocodile Dundee.
Or as I like to call it, Better Eustace.
Yeah, for sure. Also, good foreshadowing. They predicted his death because in this episode he's dead.
Essentially, listeners, what Tim is saying is that somehow Courage the Cowardly Dog predicted the death of not Crocodile Dundee, but Steve Irwin, Crocodile Hunter.
Oh god.
Yeah, you fucked up real hard, and I let you do it in every step of the way.
I've been God damn it, you piece of shit. This is what happens when you drink and do a podcast.
Ha 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 ha.
But
by the way, folks, Crocodile Dundee still alive. Paul Newman kicking it still. I better double check that, but I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
Double check that. But Steve Irwin is dead, and that's who they were very much basing Eustace's brother off of. She pulls up a photo of him, Eustace's brother, with a couple snakes, and goes, "Oh, isn't today the..."
Oh, damn it, Paul Newman's dead!
I told you! I was still right!
He
probably didn't die from animal, though. He probably
minute.
died from heart attack or something.
That's not Crocodile Dundee.
What are you doing?
I'm losing
Stop
my
bringing
mind.
false facts into this podcast. How dare you?
I won't.
What are you both fucking doing? Like, this is a fucking disgrace.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no,
But
wait, no, Paul Newman was Cool Hand Luke. What am I doing?
anyways, let's just move forward. Courage has a lockbox in his mouth, and Eustace takes it
Paul
from him.
Hogan! His name is Paul Hogan. Paul Hogan is still alive.
Oh, goddamn.
Okay.
Crocodile Dundee still alive. I swear I've watched more than one movie in my life. Paul Newman was in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and that was definitely not Crocodile Dundee. Also, did you know that they made like 3 Crocodile Dundee movies? That's like 2 more than they needed to.
No.
Oh my God, there's another Crocodile Dundee movie coming.
I'm
What?
sure there is, and that's horrific in every
The
sense of the word.
very
course.
excellent Mr. Dundee.
That's horrible. That's
Mhm.
no, it's great. He's alive. That's great. It's great.
Wait,
I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad. But I meant Steve Irwin, and I apologize.
He did, folks.
I didn't mean Steve Irwin. I said
Paul
in our-
Newman dead. Dundee still alive.
Yes.
Steve Irwin very dead.
Stingray.
Stingray.
Yes, Stingray in the heart.
Go to the ocean, punch a stingray for.
Anyways, on the TV,
You know Steve Irwin wouldn't want
they're
that.
watching TV,
You're right.
and as the lockbox is in Courage's mouth, they see a commercial for a psychic who could tell them anything about the dead or whatever. Contact the dead
on
and
the
all that.
channeling channel.
The channeling channel.
The channeling channel.
The channeling channel.
And so Eustace gets the brilliant idea that lockbox is from his brother and has
Mm-hmm.
lots of money in it.
All the money in the world.
All of the money
And so
that was hidden away.
they don't show him calling the medium or anything like that. The medium just shows up at their door. and
She
goes,
knew because she's a medium.
Yeah. And so they
Yeah,
grab
she
her, pull her into a imaginary new room in the house, which is the dining room.
The dining room that we have never seen before. We've only okay,
It's somehow between the living room and the kitchen.
and the kitchen, which in former episodes
They've added
was
on.
not there.
yeah, the table was in the kitchen. That was in the
and
former
living-
episodes.
Yes, and the living room was right next to the kitchen. The dining and kitchen area were all one, but now it's its own room.
Right, it was a small house
In
the
between
middle of nowhere.
episodes, Eustace has been busy building onto the house.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
they built the house back up, and
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Tore
go
it
ahead and
down,
guarantee
built
you
it
it's
up.
not gonna be there on the.
so they have a little seancing session with the medium, which also we can't pinpoint her accent.
It's a
100%.
wandering accent.
It's
It
either
goes-
Also,
it's-
the best joke in the fucking episode.
yeah, it's
Yes.
probably Spanish, but we truly don't know.
It's Spanish, but it also wanders
She's also
into
Chihuahua.
Romanian. She
I-
is also a Chihuahua.
Yeah, I was gonna
which-
say I think it's Romanian. I think because she's kind of shown to be a gypsy in some points. So
Yes.
I mean, like that would probably be that area of Europe. But it could. She
Yeah,
also
well-
speaks Spanish later in the episode. So
yeah.
It's odd. That it's there. Eustace's brother Horst is the one that hid the treasure, apparently.
right.
And he didn't
but-
tell Eustace. What a dickhead, says
Yeah.
Eustace.
well, in not so many words.
Yeah, the same words.
Um,
No, I think he says dickhead. Yeah.
But Courage, they have a seance, and Sheldon made a reference to it, and it's every show that has ever done a seance does the same thing where there's a crystal ball and everybody holds hand and it's brah, and then like voices change and all that. And Shirley goes, "You have to contact the dead," and she opens her mouth and a dial tone comes
It's a
out,
collect call.
and that's the funniest thing in the entire world.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Like the idea that to have a seance is just like a collect call through somebody is my favorite thing.
Your call cannot be connected, dude.
And you
Your
know
call
the
cannot be completed. It's dialed. Please
So-
hang up and try again.
you know the writers are thinking too, because it's the rule of thirds is a big thing in writing. So whenever you do
Yeah.
something that has variables, you do it in 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time, Courage finds a yo-yo in a imaginary room that doesn't exist with a couch that
Where the couch is, I
Yeah.
don't know.
we have
So they
no
can't-
idea.
They can't get horsed, and so Courage goes, yo yo, in dog speak again. Weird, because he's talking to another dog.
Yeah. But she
And-
understands.
And she finds your yo-yo. It's over there under the couch, and then he finds under the couch, does a little play with it, and then immediately puts it back.
Be amazed what you find when you go looking.
Oh yeah. He puts it underneath the seat again and walks away.
I'll remember this time where it
And
is.
all 3 of us were kind of upset that it was like, you found it though.
No, what, are you gonna put it in your
Fucking take
imaginary
it with
pockets?
you.
What are you doing?
Hey, he has shown that he has pockets.
Exactly.
That's a
Deep.
fucking joke.
That he has deep pockets
He has
too.
deep pockets, yeah. I want to see him put something in there and, pull it out again. But anyways, I don't want to talk about his
What's in your pockets?
sexual, yeah. Anyways,
Tim's. I like to imagine Tim smoking a cigarette. What's in your pockets, Courage?
what's in your pocket, Courage?
What's in your pockets?
Oh yeah.
Yo-yo in your pocket, he's just happy to see me.
You gonna make it? You gotta make it in Hollywood. You gotta show me what's in your pocket.
Yes, Miss Dimple.
I have this really good part for you, Courage, but I didn't know what's in your pocket. Anyways,
Boy, I hate what we've done.
the second person that they see aunt is Muriel's
Aunt.
aunt. Yes.
Yeah, it's an aunt. It's an
Gertrude?
aunt.
It talks
Gertrude,
about
yes.
their jam, the jam that her aunt uses.
Needs more vinegar.
I
and-
don't like that we're saying aunt.
Aunt?
Aunt.
You don't like that? You like
aunt.
aunt or
It's
aunt?
It's aunt.
Aunt.
Nah.
I don't know. I prefer aunt's life to aunt's life. Anyways,
I hated that movie.
That was
Most
a bad
people
joke.
I hated that joke as much as I hated that movie.
so Muriel is talking to her aunt, and
Aunt.
you're backtracking now. What the... Anyways,
I'm being an asshole.
I noticed. We so at that point, Eustace is like, "Stop talking, shut up," and just is breaking.
You're
up
holding up the
seance.
line.
Get to my brother.
You're
So-
tying up.
Answer my
No,
call.
he says you're tying up the line, which is such a dated joke
Yeah,
because
Oh,
that's
God,
not a
yeah.
thing anymore.
yeah. If you had dial-up back in the early thousands, late '90s, you would totally
That's
know
the
what that
internet
is.
for you.
Well, yeah, no, or just like think about now on your cell phone when somebody calls you and calls you,
Yeah, second
And they
person
don't-
calls you, and then
it just pops up as like, hey, do you want to hold one call? And there is no busy tone anymore.
yeah, exactly.
Like that's, I didn't realize that, but like sitting here now going like this was made in the 2000s.
Taylor's mind
That's
just
one of those moments
exploded.
where I go, oh, that's not. There is no tying up the line.
Yeah, not anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Now you can just hold a call or hold someone
Yeah.
else's.
It's super weird. Anyway, that's what he says.
That is
And
the
he
only
gets mad.
timestamp maybe in this episode that makes you go like, that was in the early thousands for sure.
Oh yeah.
But so they talk to Eustace's brother,
Horst.
Horse.
Horst says, "Don't open the box.
There's nothing in there for you, Eustace.
There's
And-
nothing there."
And Eustace and him
Spoiled
argue
brat.
for a good minute.
Eustace and him argue. He picks up Shirley the medium, and it looks like he just killed a dog.
Yeah, he's strangling a dog, which he
Because
does
she has-
a lot.
He has her mouth. She
Gaping
has her
mouth
mouth
open.
open, and he's just shaking her. It looks like he killed a dog.
And the little last pity that I had for Eustace, gone.
Yeah.
Just right
Always,
there.
forever. Yeah.
And Horst basically says, "Fine. Here's where the key is. Where's the key, Tim?"
He is in the rim of Eustace's hat.
You better check your fucking hat, you idiot.
I was about to say, are you saying that because I wear hats a lot? How dare you, Taylor?
You wear hats a lot?
I do. Well, I guess. Fuck. I guess you don't know that, do you?
Tim's been outed as a hat wearer, everyone. Tim wears hats.
I do
I
wear
didn't know,
hats quite a
Taylor.
bit.
I didn't know, Tim. I didn't know, Taylor. I didn't know
I
you
know.
had such short life left.
Yeah, I have no hair left. That's what that means. But he checks the rim of his hat and he goes, "Oh, right here."
How do you hide a cat? How do you hide a key in a hat?
It's a silver
How
key
did-
too. If you look at it,
How?
it's either a silver or steel
Oh,
key,
yeah.
which
No.
neither of those are light. Like
No.
that's in your
The
hat.
lining.
There is no way that dummy didn't know it was there.
I don't know. Eustace is pretty dumb.
He
now
is
that
a
you bring
bit
it up.
I mean, look at his farm. His farm has nothing on it.
This is where we've talked about how maybe Eustace is a shitty farmer.
Isn't there an
Um,
episode all about Eustace being a shitty farmer?
Probably.
Several, actually. I think. If
This was also the episode where Sheldon brought up the this is all purgatory.
yes,
Oh.
it could be purgatory. Yeah,
Yeah.
which would make total sense.
Courage is a hellhound, and
Yeah.
this is all fucking purgatory.
I don't know
Which
if I agree with that per se, but maybe courage is part of the purgatory experience.
I don't know. It's another fan theory. I give it a little bit more credence than say the
Rugrats.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Rugrats is all purgatory. I'm a big
It's all in
believer.
Angelica's head.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the idea that when it comes to cartoons like this, I think you're thinking a little too hard.
Agreed.
But I love to do that, though.
I know.
Speaking of
but-
thinking too hard,
Yeah, go
Mhm.
ahead.
Eustace gets the key, he opens the
Mhm.
box, and suddenly two very dark hands jump out of the
Terrifying.
box and grab him.
It's such a spooky moment.
It's
like-
probably it's one of the
Drag you into the
episodes
box.
where you go, yes, this is courage again.
You're like, oh, cool, a terrifying mimic box.
A
Good.
monster, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a straight up monster, and I'm assuming this is
Oh.
all just one big like poltergeist
Thank
mimicky
you for the
reference type thing.
I think so, yes. And like maybe like Dark Souls and everything like that. It's very much a
Well,
mimic box where
like
it
Dark
jumps
Souls.
out.
Well, I
each
mean,
year.
Dark Souls came out many years later, but
I know,
yes,
but yeah.
it's
Oh.
it's
If
very...
you tell me that the creator of Dark Souls was inspired of Courage the Cowardly Dog, I'm gonna lose it.
We
Hey
don't
Sheldon,
know.
the
He wasn't.
creator of Dark Souls was inspired.
Yeah,
by
there's no way
Courage
for
the
us to
Cowardly
know.
Dog.
We would never know. There's no way. The closest
I
we
mean-
can get is that interview that Rebel Taxi did, and he did not talk about that. So sorry.
Yeah, but it's a Pandora's Box-esque episode. Except it just being two monstrous hands, and Courage tries to save Eustace, right, Tim?
Yes, he does
Not
for a
that
little
long.
bit until
For
he
like
gets to
30
the
seconds.
door where the hand is blocking him from the door, and the other hand is
Wiggling its
slowly coming
fingers.
up behind him. He goes, "Fine, have him," and throws him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strike one.
I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, no, I'm not judging Courage. That dude has been
Eustace
terrifying
is
him
an asshole.
since day one.
I have noticed. I think every episode we've watched, Eustace has had a terrible fate at the end of the episode.
'Cause he's an asshole.
Most of the
I think
episodes,
so.
yes. Not all of them, though.
Now, I agree, Sheldon. I agree that Eustace is a bad person, but is this the time in which we say that Eustace deserves the fate that he is given from Courage?
Yes.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But
This is-
I'm also a very vindictive person.
I mean, this is our trolley experiment. You know, there's 5 people on the track and 1 person on the track, and it's
Yeah.
5 people. Hard to say.
Mm. So
Is
this
it really?
This is your trolley experience in Albuquerque, wasn't it? Same
No,
idea,
that just
yeah.
jumped off the damn tracks.
I don't...
Hey, Albuquerque Museum or Zoo, fix that, would you?
We said
That'd
this
be
twice.
cool. Yeah, I know.
It's the
I
fact,
know.
It's the fact that they went. This is like the 3rd time it's
When the
happened.
driver went, this is the 10th time this week. We were like, what the fuck?
Why?
10th time. That's too many.
I don't know. I think this episode kind of jumps from there. It kind of goes a little bit faster. So
Yeah, the
He-
minute that box is open, it's a downhill slide, I think.
yeah, so he drops Eustace. He runs in, tries to warn Muriel. The hand grabs Muriel, pulls him in. Courage tries to run outside and trips over a weird bucket that's just oddly there.
Right.
It's the laundry bucket.
Well, I said trash bucket because it looks like a trash bin, and then we find out it's the laundry bin.
Yeah, I think it's just a laundry bin. He continues. He looks at the laundry line and takes all the laundry off the line and folds it. Very nice. He
He's a good
checks
dog.
himself to make sure that
Very good dog.
the dress that's on the line fits him.
Yeah, just in case.
I mean, you can't predict for the future.
Prawn
Maybe Courage
is
wants to go to
tomorrow.
a dance. You don't know.
I just want you to know, if Muriel and Eustace die, he's got to, make his winning somehow.
That's right. He's got to attract
Kibbles-
somebody.
Kibble's got to
There's-
keep on coming.
There's two wills. One leaves everything to Courage, and the other says, "Don't give it to Courage."
So he has to pretend to be Muriel.
So he folds everything, brings the clothesline back in, and ties both Muriel and Eustace to the clothesline, so that way they don't fall in while he's gone.
Yes.
And then he runs away to grab Shirley the medium one last time. And the first thing she said
The
is, "The idiot opened the box."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yep."
Yep. So he grabs Shirley the medium, brings her back. She goes, "You opened the box, didn't you?"
Like the most matter of fact way
Well,
of doing things.
Yeah.
The fact that you're staring at two ethereal hands grasping at your ankles,
Right.
Yeah.
sort of. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
she-
true.
She does the most low par thing to solve the situation. She goes over to the box, which is basically Pandora's box at this moment, and closes it on the hands, who
Yep.
screech and then pull themselves back into the back to the box. Sorry,
back into the back.
back to the hand.
hand.
Their
The
hands
hand
have become
box.
more
Back into the
hands.
hands. Go
No.
back into the box.
Back
Hand
to the
box.
box. So, at that point, everything's solved, and a $100 bill falls out of the box.
Yep.
Shirley Medium grabs it,
Which
takes it as payment.
I would.
Yeah.
She deserves it. She saved your ass.
Yeah, and Eustace goes, "I knew there was money in there," and then runs over to the box, opens it again, and is pulled straight into the box by the monster.
Yeah.
We cut
And-
to Eustace shocking himself over and over in a mousetrap.
Well, Eustace goes in that box. There are millions of dollars in that box.
Of course.
It is a Mary Poppins-esque box. It's very deep. It's a TARDIS-esque box.
Yes,
It's bigger on the inside.
for sure.
But
And he can't get out.
and there we go.
Box lock. And then we cut to the end of the episode, and Eustace is like, "I'd buy some of that jam from you," because Muriel finds the jam.
She finally makes the
And-
right jam.
Muriel says, "Oh, well, you can have some when you get out, but we gotta find the key first." And where is the motherfucking key?
It's in Courage's mouth.
Yeah. Fuck that dog.
No, I'm with Courage 100%.
No,
I'm with Courage.
no. Here's the thing. I am normally on the side of Courage because normally Courage is a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Courage is a good boy.
Right,
He's a
right.
good boy. This is not a good boy move.
I disagree.
This is a bad boy move, because, like, if it was a good boy move, he would go, "Oh, even though Eustace is bad, I still should save him because he is still."
You're so
He's still a
fucking
human.
full of shit.
Yeah.
No, I am no.
You're saying
It's-
if you got beaten daily by
This
a
is
person,
the-
that
Or
you would save
scared
that person
daily.
if they were going to get hit by something?
Yeah, I think that ultimately you should.
Okay.
I think, but I get it. I get why he doesn't want to, because Eustace is a shitbag.
All right. Yeah.
Like, I understand it. I understand the feeling, and like this is probably one of those things where Courage is like, "I'm gonna leave him in there."
Yeah, it doesn't mean
And
he's
so,
not
like-
going to pull him out eventually, right?
So I'm gonna go ahead and like fall on that line of thinking that he's gonna let him out after eventually. But like, if Courage leaves him in there like completely vindictively for the rest of his life, like that's terrible. Like, don't do that, Courage. That's a bad boy. That's a bad boy.
I think Courage is a good boy. I don't think it's going to happen, but either way,
We don't know. The
Yeah.
episode ends.
we don't know. The episode just
Now
ended.
we know that Eustace is back in the next episode, so he must have let him out.
Yeah.
I
But
say
I'm just
Courage
saying.
leaves him in there till he dies.
See, that's a
And
hot
by
take.
him die, I mean Courage.
But that's a hot take, you know. That's a real
He'll
hot
probably
take.
outlive Courage.
You know, that's a hot take on things, and I'm.
So,
I understand it.
So for our ratings for this episode,
Yeah. What are we gonna do here?
can I suggest a crystal ball out of 5? A 3 to 5.
Bad Jamaican accents out of 5.
Bad Jamaican. I like that too.
Wandering accent out of
Wandering
5.
accent out of 5. Here's some trivia for the episode. So it is revealed that Muriel has an Aunt Gertrude when Shirley inadvertently contacts her instead of Horst. We only hear her voice, however, and she has a strong Scottish accent. When Shirley contacts Gertrude, she tells Muriel to start using vinegar in her cooking, and that becomes a running gag for the rest of the show. So a lot of the other episodes past here, when someone goes, your cooking's lacking, she needs more vinegar. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I thought they introduced that before, but you know what? I don't remember.
Apparently,
sure.
by the wiki, it says not. So.
Yes. It's interesting. I think this exemplifies that Eustace is a greedy person, which this is not an episode. I think we kind of already knew that.
Yeah, it's very much
It's just a continuing point of like Eustace is a greedy person. I don't think we have any so far. I think there's very little character growth between the people.
It's just reaffirming that Eustace is very greedy. So.
Yeah, which it's a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
He's an old farmer with terrible farming skills, apparently. So,
well, that's not in question.
Yeah,
no, that's absolutely known.
We all know that for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a weird episode. It's a very odd episode, I think, when it comes down to kind of everything in it.
Let's go ahead and give our ratings if you want to, Sheldon. Start.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck, I don't even know because I'd give it a 3.5, slightly above average. I wasn't impressed with these couple of episodes.
Yeah, I'll give you a 3 because it's very much an average episode, although it introduces Shirley the Medium, who is a very pivotal character later in the series because she reoccurs a lot. But it's not something that I would write home about, for sure.
Yeah, I think Duck Brothers is funnier.
Agreed, 100%.
I think this has a really good gag in it when it comes to the phone bit.
Yeah.
But I think after that, it's just kind of like
Duck Brothers.
I think it's a 3. Well, I think Duck Brothers is just better. I think it's got funnier writing. It's got more slapsticky humor.
Sure. There's a
Three Stooges
reference.
Yeah, I think this is a solid 3 crystal balls out of 5. I like it. I think it's a fine episode. It's not scary. It's not overtly funny. It's just kind of there. It's not necessarily a filler episode.
Sure.
It's a good episode. I don't know.
I think
it just isn't as good as others.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, as we've been watching these, I've realized the episodes of Courage that we talk about, that we remember, are very specific episodes with very specific people in them and very specific concepts. And I'm starting to wonder if those are more spread out than I initially thought they were.
Yeah. I think as we go farther into the first season, you'll see that that's maybe not true. Because I think at the end of the first season, they kind of hit their stride as they go into the second season. But I don't know. We'll have to get there to figure out.
Yeah, it's still not bad.
No, by no means any of these are bad. All these are good episodes, actually.
We laughed at both of them.
Yeah, for sure.
They were both fun. I think the listener on View will also. If you don't, you can always tweet at us. Go for that.
Tell us how wrong we were.
You can comment on our YouTube channel, any episode. You could tell us what's wrong with any of those episodes or whatever.
You could do that too.
That's a good way of yelling at us.
That is a good way.
But
it's It's solid. I mean, there's solid episodes. I'm excited to get farther into it. We've got this is the 5th episode we watched, 6th episode we watched, not counting the pilot. 5th?
Yeah. This is like the 6th or 7th.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
this is 6th. Yep. Because this is episode 7 of our podcast, so this is episode 6 of the series. But
So
I think things start to ramp up from here. If I was going to say,
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at season rosters, and I think we're definitely gonna have more fun as we go through.
I think so as well. As I'm looking through some of these episodes now, I definitely think so.
But like I said, go watch them. Go watch both the Duck Brothers, Shirley the Medium. Just tell us what you think if you want to.
They're
you don't
good
have
episodes. Everything is you'll be thoroughly entertained
They're fun.
all the way through.
They're fun.
So
they're better than Cajun Granny Stew.
yeah.
Well, everything's better than Cajun Granny.
You're right.
Damn.
You're so right. You're really right. Such a dumb fucking episode.
Well, that's what we start. Oh, that's the 2nd episode, right? Yeah, no, yeah.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's not great.
It's a bad chase cartoon with no good pay.
But I like chase cartoons. No, you good.
No, you don't.
I don't
You
like
don't.
that kind of chase cartoons.
You're so full of shit.
That's the type of person that's like, I mean, I really enjoy the Roadrunner and Coyote. And I go, that was made as a parody.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were making fun of everything. Yeah.
But I love Tom and Jerry. It's like, no, you don't. You like one Tom and Jerry because they're all the same. You can let that linger. I don't care.
Yeah, all of
They're
them
all
later, for sure.
They are all the same.
Don't
Like,
worry.
They are 100%
Well, they're
the same
all
episode.
they're basically the same chase cartoon plus added gags every here and there, and yeah. Plus extra characters.
There's a
and
reason why
whatever
Itchy and
else.
Scratchy of The Simpsons made fun of it. Like it's
For
it works.
years, for decades.
They don't do it anymore either.
Well, they don't do it now because Tom and Jerry isn't really a thing now.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Anyways, I think
they're not
that's a good place to stop the episode for today.
yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As good as we're gonna get.
As always, we are the Liquid Courage podcast. We're your monthly dose of critical looking at a child's cartoon. We enjoy your feedback. We enjoy your comments. Follow us on Twitter at liquid_podcast. Check out our YouTube page. Go to Facebook if you feel the need to like it on Facebook and share with your bros.
Yep.
I feel like that's the only way you can plug Facebook these days. Is
Yeah.
talk about your
Yeah.
bros.
Like, if you don't want to be on Facebook with us, we totally understand. But our Twitter
Yeah.
is we're very active on it.
Yeah.
If you were to follow us, you want to message us, we're totally active. I'll talk to you.
That's the
So-
best place to get to us. Is just DM us there or just comment on things we do. We're here for you. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like. Tell us if we're wrong. Tell us if you think that we're the
most
big
likely.
dumb.
The most likely outcome. Tell us
We would
that
like
we're
to
wrong.
hear it.
Tell
We
us
really
that we're
would.
wrong.
Yeah.
But we're here for you. But this is, as always, your monthly dose of Liquid Courage, your libation and levity fueled podcast regarding everyone's favorite pinkish purple cowardly dog in the middle of Kansas. And as always, I am Taylor, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts.
All you show.
All right. I'm Sheldon. And
I'm
this is Tim.
Tim.
And we will get ready to hear from you, or just you'll hear from us within another month. Talk about King Ramsay
Yeah. Best episode coming up next. Yeah.
and
Forgot about King
and
Ram.
be excited for that. Get your
I'm ready
slabs
for it.
ready, folks.
I want to
Nail
see
'em in.
100 slabs. That's right.
I want to see 100 slabs on our Facebook right now. But we'll go from there. As always, we'll talk to you once more. We'll tickle your eardrums, and we're out.
We'll see you next month. Have a good night.
Bye, babies.
Bye.
That was the Liquid Courage Podcast, an in-depth look at every episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. On the next episode, we check out King Ramses' Curse and the Clutching Foot. Music was provided by Visionless. You can find them at www.soundcloud.com/VISIONL3SS. We do not own the rights to Courage the Cowardly Dog. Until next time, have a wonderful night.
Hey, a cute little doggy. What are you doing here? Dog. Hey, bring the duck back. What am I going to serve? Strudel. Oh, good idea.